Okay, this evaluation has a number of extremely important questions, which I think are valuable in terms of understanding the speech that we just heard. The point of the evaluation was it's called the touching story. Vince needed to give us a touching story. I don't think there's anyone here who would feel that he had failed at that mission. What emotions did you experience as the speaker told the story? How did the speaker use descriptive words and phrases to evoke emotion? I felt two emotions. I felt excitement at the changes and improvements and personality of Dominic. And then, of course, I felt sadness at his demise and sorrow and loss. And what I thought the speaker used to make this really pertinent was excellent descriptions of characters and events. And then how did the speaker use dialogue to evoke emotion? If there was one weakness in this speech, it was probably that he didn't actually use any real dialogue. He referred to dialogue. He said, "We discussed," etc., etc. Some direct quotes probably would have helped improve the speech. How did the story contain the basic elements of setting, character, plot, conflict, and action? If not, which were missing? How did this affect the story? None were missing. There was a clear plot from this from the very beginning. And you know, something I really want to point out is how much I enjoyed the beginning and how well it tied in with the ending, which is to say you really did a good job bringing that the person who you've been with, who you sort of feels like you've always known. Is there anyone here who has a friend that they maybe haven't seen for a long time, but every time you see that friend, it's like you've never been apart? Yeah, I have one of those too. So I thought he had a great plot. I understood the setting, and I really felt he did an excellent description of the main character and the actions that took place. Were the characters well developed? How did the speaker use description and dialogue to give them life? Yes, I thought he had a really good use of description. I thought he could have used a better discussion of dialogue. But I mean, he discussed the dialogue very well. Okay. How was the story developed? What was the point of the story clear? There was a good continuation of events, processes, and really, I'm almost going to call it strategies. I think you probably came up with some of these things. I think maybe Dominic came up with some of these things, but I think that there was really a lot of strategy involved here in getting Dominic to enhance his life. The writing evolution with the letters, the cards to various people, review of the bills, the DUI, the child support, everything really contributed to the development of the story. And the point of the story I thought was very clear. I, of course, wish it had ended very differently. I wish he had gone to his employer, gotten a raise, gotten a promotion, become a great writer, maybe, who knows, gotten back together with his son. But how did the speaker build to a powerful climax? It was really very clear when he didn't show up for 3 weeks. The first week, the second week, the third week, the knock on the door. That's really a powerful build up to a climax. There was a wish versus the reality. For me, my wish was, oh, he's gone to New York, he's got a really good job there. You know, everyone's sitting there wishing this, but knowing deep down inside that this is not good. There's a calm discussion of Dominic's demise. Nobody cried, even you, even though I know that there was probably some of that in there. And I really thought he started and finished extremely well. Thank you for a wonderful speech. I hope we hear more of them like that in the future. Mr. Toastmaster.